Hi everyone, it's Anand from Finance Fix. Today's topic might seem a bit strange to you, and it might seem unrelated to my usual videos, but I promise you it's not. I want to talk to you about how I think we're wrong about the way we think about something, specifically about charitable donations. I want to prove to you today that the way we think about donating to charity is all wrong. Today I want to talk to you about one aspect of my finances that I give a lot of thought to. No, it's not investing this time, it's not saving, and it's not about how to earn money better. It's about giving, specifically charitable giving. Over the last decade or so, contributing to society and doing good for good's sake has occupied a lot more of my thoughts. Contributing financially to a charitable cause was one way of doing this, and I wanted to do it well. And I read somewhere that if you decided on giving 1% of your income to charity, but you thought you couldn't quite afford it now, but you might do it at some point in the future, the likelihood is you'll never get around to it. Because if you think giving 1p in the pound now is difficult, then if you ever get to the point where you're earning £1 million in a year, then giving £10,000 of that, again 1%, is going to be just as hard, if not harder. Anyway, back to topic. So I used to give to charities, but rather sporadically. Maybe when I went to the temple, or I supported friends through their Just Giving projects or the like. But it wasn't really well thought out. And also I used to be quite preoccupied with administration costs, the costs from my donation that a charity would allocate towards what they would call administration. Now I wanted to do it better. Fast forward to today, and my wife and I give 5% of our net income to charitable causes that are close to our heart and to those that deliver the greatest impact. Whenever I thought about donating to charities in the past, I used to think too much about their administration costs, or how much of my donation would go towards those admin costs. You may have seen this on some charity websites. Some may give 100% of your donation directly to the causes that you're trying to support, and some may give 90% or 95%. So that means that if for the charity that gives 90% of your donation goes directly to the cause that you want to support, but 10% is taken towards the charity's administration costs. That typically pays for things like staff, IT, and other things. I used to think it was suboptimal for a charity to send anything less than 100% of my donation to the cause that I'm trying to support. Well, not anymore. Because I asked myself the question, what ultimately is a charity there to do? Is it there simply to move as much of my donation directly towards the cause that I'm trying to support as possible? Well, no, that's not it actually. A charity, I propose, runs to deliver the best outcomes for the people, animals, or other cause that it's trying to support as possible. It's trying to achieve the best outcomes for that cause as possible. And here's the clincher, to do that in the best way possible. And it's probably not the case that the best way to support the cause is to simply act as a middle person between your donation and the cause. This ultimately means that administration fees shouldn't matter. That means how much its staff get paid shouldn't matter in and of itself. That means how much gets spent on marketing or advertising shouldn't matter, again, in and of itself. There are only two real questions we should be asking ourselves when we are thinking about donating to a charity or thinking about how it's using our donations most effectively. Number one, how are you making the best use of your resources? And number two, are you delivering the best outcomes for your cause with the resources you have? If spending money on marketing doesn't sit right with you, ask yourself why. Do you know why Coca-Cola, and for that matter, any for-profit company, spends as much as they do on advertising or marketing? It's because they know it's the best way of letting customers know about their product, keeping their product at the forefront of their customers' minds, and ultimately to sell more product. They know that careful spending on marketing activities delivers more value for them, allows them to sell more product, generates them more revenue, which is ultimately what they're all about. So why is it different for charities? Surely if a charity spent money on marketing, and the result of that was that they enticed more people to donate because of those marketing efforts, that would be a good thing, no? Companies like Coca-Cola know that for every pound they spend on marketing, they generate many more pounds of income in return. That's why they do it. And that's the same reason we should let charities do it. If you could spend £100 on something and get £500 back, would you do it? Of course you would. then why do we think when a charity does that, it's wrong? If you donate £50 to a charity and they spend £10 of that on admin costs, perhaps marketing is included in those admin costs, but that £10 then generates a further £50 of donations and i.e. revenue for that charity, then that's a good thing, right? That's an extra £40 more than you were able or willing to donate yourself. That's a good thing. That's £40 extra in delivering outcomes for the cause the charity supports. Our outdated, illogical attitudes towards how charities should operate fails them. We don't let them do what needs to be done to solve the big problems of our world and our society. We as a society force charities to keep their indirect costs low, even when it isn't in their best interest to do so. And because we focus on it, we indirectly force the charities to focus on it, completing that vicious circle. I'm glad to say my eyes have now been opened, and I'm no longer preoccupied with admin costs when thinking about a charity or a charitable donation like I used to be. Now, I hope you found that useful and your eyes have now been opened too. If you'd like to watch another video about this topic, then I'd thoroughly recommend a TED Talk by a guy called Dan Pallotta. I hope I've said that right. I hope you found that useful. Don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll see you on the next one.